Hello, Perfect Death here, and I'll bring another Ragnarok online mobile video. In this video, I'll be discussing a bit about the ancient equipments that just recently came out with the new Komodo update, and some of the standout options that we have that could be useful for an Earth Drive build or sacrifice build, or just in general any kind of build for the Divine Avenger class. Now, with these, it is important to know that they come with a random attribute, and that random attribute can often make or break whether or not it's something that you would want to pick. So an example is I just recently did my second week of the museum, and with the museum you'll get your chests, you open them up, and it'll give you three options of a theme. So in my case, I got a box last week for 3 armors, and one of them was the voodoo armor, and then this week I got another one, and I picked voodoo armor for that one as well. And you can see that these ones have a different random attribute. This one has a max HP of 10%, and the other one is damage reduction and magic damage reduction, 10%. So I think these go up to like 20% on there. The kind of attribute depends on the artifact itself. And we also have offhand ones as well. This is one of the offhands, the Ocean's Bestowal, and I got an 8% elemental reduction. So that on top of the existing one makes it kind of neat, but it's still a pretty low roll for this value. And then I recently picked this one out of my options, which has a 12% HP roll on it. So overall, it's still a bit hard to say these are better than the existing options. Like the Great Wing Shield has definitely more total stats, and especially if you can get these refined up very high, they can be really strong. Though for different builds, for different purposes, these are pretty good in their own regard. So let's go over some of the options actually, and I'll also I have a database opened on the side where I can talk about the different random attributes on them. So let's start with the offhand options. So from this list, a bunch of these are like offhands, but they are, not shields. This one is a shield, and a dragonbone shield, and this one is strength, max HP, physical damage, and then as you refine it, you get more physical damage. Now, physical damage is sometimes just called PDI. This does apply to Earth Drive, and it does apply to Counterattack Halo. It does not work on the Sacrifice build, and its main stat is Strength, so it's not really the greatest, because ideally you would want in your equipment for like an Earth Drive build, it would be Vitality, Defense, Physical Damage increase, and for your other builds like Counterattack Halo, you're also looking at your Defense Ignore, which is for both Earth Drive and Counterattack Halo, but you're also looking for HP. Sacrifice and Counterattack don't really care about your defense, and Sacrifice doesn't care about physical damage or Defense Ignore. So there are some different mixes of what stats you want depending on what build you want to specialize in. So with this one, it has the physical damage increase, and that's about it. Going down, you have these ones. These are bracers. This one is a shield. It's intelligence, SP, consumption, regen, and cooldown reduction. Cooldown could be useful for just getting out skills faster, but overall, that's a very big niche for having to get this up to plus 15 just for a 10% reduced cooldown. if I do bring up like Dragonbone Shield, you can get a defense random attribute, or defense percent random attribute bonus of 36%, which is quite high. You can get a damage increase of 18%, or a damage reduction of 24%, or max HP 18%. And there's magic defense and magic damage options in there as well. And like with the pardon money, you can get a defense, damage, HP, magic damage, that sort of thing. But you can also get a skill delay random attribute on this one as well. So if you got the max 18% skill delay roll and a 10% cast delay here, that could be quite powerful, because skill delay is something that you don't really get much to reduce, and there's quite a lot of value in having that skill delay reduction. So again, if you got a really good roll on that, then it would work for a lot more classes, not just for like an Earth Drive build. Then you go down, intelligence, agility, attack speed, physical attack. But of course this is a bracer. This one is a shield. It's HP and auto attack damage, but these are these weird flat auto attack values. Not too sure how useful those would be. The lamp here is like holy damage, healing increase. You can roll for extra healing increase of up to 18%, and that seems to be just pretty low overall. Very specific for holy damage, so not really a build that Divine Avengers tend to go to, even though we do have holy damage skills. Those are not very strong performing skills. Solar Slate does come out pretty nice because it has a vitality bonus, but these size damage reductions, they don't work against magic damage. So if you're getting hit by a mage, this won't really help you out at all. The 5% max HP and the vitality, kind of nice. You can roll more size damage reduction. You can roll defense percent damage reduction, just a flat damage reduction, max HP, magic defense, and magic damage reduction. So some of those values are consistent to what you'll see with a lot like defense percent. Pretty much everything has a defense percent roll, and most seem to have HP percent rolls as well. This one just has a special one, which is the size damage reduction, which is Cauldron, Bracer, Ancient Ritual Ancient Mask. This one's somewhat good because it has that no attribute that's neutral damage. So Chronomancers do a lot of neutral damage. Holy damage largely comes from Rune Masters and Dark Ghost. Those ones are kind of niche. Poison, this is not so much for the poison debuff, but rather just poison damage from physical attacks caused by like an assassin or something. The physical and magic defense, that's kind of neat. It's kind of useful for Earth Drive. It does split it between the two, when for a lot of the like if you go to look at this one does have both 10% and 10% for both, and that can be nice. It definitely 10% physical defense helps for Earth Drive, so does your vitality, and then you have that elemental reduction to holy, neutral. Those are pretty useful. Let's see, what does... Yeah, you can roll more from your random attribute when it comes to the neutral, holy, dark, ghost, and poison, up to 24%. And then you have the standard defense, damage reduction, HP, magic defense, and magic damage reduction. So, I'll actually show that right there. There we go. So this here will show like those three here, like defense and your unique option there. So you can get that on top. So if you were to get this to your plus 15, then you're getting your 12% on top of another 6% and then another 6%. So 24% there, and then you could get another 24% for 48% elemental reduction. Now, the way that it kind of calculates it in the game, there is a limit to how much, so you can certainly overstack your elemental reductions. So you might not want to roll this one if you're looking to do a, like, if you did decide to roll this kind of a, or let's say you have two, right, and one's a high roll on your neutral elemental reduction, but then you have another one that you get and it's like defense percent. In that case, you would probably want the defense percent, just because if you overstack your reductions, you get diminishing returns. So you kind of would want to look at where you're sitting. You might get the most out of a flat damage reduction rather than a 24% elemental, or it might be the other way around. You might have a lot of tenacity enchanted gear, which gives damage reduction. Or you might want the HP for running, say, counterattack Halo or sacrifice build. Now, the next one, Ocean's Bestowal. This one is pretty much like Static Shield. Static Shield gives you your earth, water, wind, fire, and also neutral element reduction. So this one's probably the best overall because this works against a lot of the magic damage that comes in, and it also has that neutral damage reduction. So you can get this to a 24% plus another 24% if you get the maxed random attribute roll. Or you could, like I said, focus on defense or HP. So between these two, these are both pretty good options for a lot of your different kinds of builds. Earth Drive build, counterattack Halo, and sacrifice build. All of those certainly benefit from these two options. Now the last option is the Heroic Monument, and this one is it's vitality, but instead of defense bonus it gives max HP and then bonus healing, and then as you refine it you get more HP. And this one, if you do, like, the random attribute that's unique to it is healing received, and that healing received goes up to 45% if you get the maxed roll on it. Meanwhile, you can still get your defense, HP, those kind of things. So this is your healing shield, essentially. You could make it that if you got both, if you got a really high roll on that healing received. And that's one of the things I was looking into this one specifically for, because I run a heal build, and I was looking at whether or not this would be a contender for replacing a Great Wing Shield. Now, the Great Wing Shield, it only really gives you bonuses. Like, you do get some healing bonus from it, but it mostly gives you a bonus for Battle Chant. So right now, at a plus 12, I am getting 24% extra Battle Chant. It doesn't affect Glorious Guardian, it just affects Battle Chant. It also does affect heal, but I dropped my heal build quite a long time ago. I just rely on Battle Chant and Glorious Guardian. So in a sense, you're getting, this is actually heal received, so I'm getting like 10% heal received and a 24% there. So that, not sure if that would compare to a 45% healing received if you got the maxed roll on the Heroic Monument here. And I probably will do a roll because I do have 96, so I probably will roll on this one. But now we can move on to armor. And armor, some of these are really powerful, but for Earth Drive build, it can be a bit hit or miss, especially depending on those random attributes. So, like Dragon Scale armor, Strength, Dex, and Physical Defense. Now, the physical defense is nice, and the physical damage is nice, but then you have your stats. So there's kind of a theme here, like with the Voodoo armor, good for the physical defense and for the physical attack. But for Earth Drive build specifically, there are some that could be better, right? Like as you go down here, you'll see there's different stats. Some of these can be really effective for different classes, but for the Earth Drive build, like this one here, 20 vitality, pretty high there, but then there's no physical defense unless you refine it, and then you might get like a 15% there. This one's int, that one's int. Some more intelligence there. You're in the mage ones. This one is int and vitality, along with max HP. So this one could be pretty useful there. If I actually go and check, where, there he is. So this one can get a like 15% HP roll on it. So could be good for an HP build, but yeah, like this one's a 20 vite. And then I think, let's see, title armor, where are you? Yeah, so this one can also roll a 15% max HP. So with your vitality, your max HP there, you could potentially get to like, you know, a 20% extra HP on it. This one gives you some good vitality, HP, and then like snare. Immobilization is snare, and fear. And then Crown's battle gear. This one is physical defense 15%, magic defense scales, and then demi-human reductions here. So, and I think with this one, yeah, you can get a medium damage reduction roll on this one. You can get like a 30% healing received, and you can get like a 15% max HP. So for a lot of these, it definitely depends on how good of a roll you do. I think it was Voodoo. The Voodoo armor here, you can actually roll a pen 15%. And I've seen that one. That's a really strong option because penetration works for, I believe, both Counterattack Halo and Earth Drive build. So with the physical defense ignore, the physical attack increase, the physical defense bonus, and a pen roll, that makes this one actually quite a strong option, especially if you can, you know, if you are going to use this armor also for other classes as well. It makes it very versatile, even if it's not ideal. The 15 extra dex can be nice. It gives you a little bit of extra hit. The strength, that'll boost stun rate if you're running stun. But the main thing is just offensive power from the physical attack, the pen, and then the defense ignore. The defense percent, after a while, it can like lose how effective it is, as again, if you overstack your stats, then things get less effective. So you could, you know, look at your defense, and this armor potentially can get a 24% defense bonus, and that might hit diminishing returns. So balancing them out is certainly a good option if you can get that as an unlock. If you're trying to decide between, you know, two different armors that you roll. One's a defense 24% and another's a defense or pen 15%, then you might want to go for the pen just because you're going to get more value out of it, as the defense for sure is going to have diminishing return in comparison. So I think I will end it with, where is it? I wanted to roll one of these. Oop. There we go. What did I get? Max HP. Ooh, what was the high roll on that one? Where are you? Max HP. The max roll is 18%. So it's not too bad, though I was mostly looking for it as a healing shield, but hey, that's not bad for a sacrifice build, actually, just because it has that max HP there. So this is a 20% HP. Does give some healing, and then if you plus 10 it, that's another 4% HP. So I will end it there. Take care.